TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Main event set to get underway, and the Southern Six not wasting any time, going right for the Heatseekers. Slick, you better get out of there, pal.
No kidding. This is not a place where you want to be. We know that these two teams hate each other, Carmen. A feud that has spilled over between the National Wrestling Alliance to right here in KFW.
Kerry Morton raining down blows to the head of Sigmund. And I mean, after the choice words that we heard earlier this evening from the Heatseekers, can you blame the Southern Six whatsoever for entering this match as fired up as they are, Rob?
No, absolutely not. You know, and just as the words from Matt Sigmund earlier in the night, he said, you guys got to be in for a fight, because that's exactly what we're bringing to you. And Silas and Kerry came out here ready for that fight, and it looks like they're the ones taking it to the Heatseekers.
Well, the Heatseekers certainly have had a legendary career, but the Southern Six looking to establish their legacy on independent wrestling and within the National Wrestling Alliance. As you see, the Heatseekers, looks like they may have had enough of the Southern Six, but what? Who is this? The Southern Bad Boys. We also saw earlier tonight the hometown heroes from right here in Newport, Tennessee, making their presence felt as the Southern Six managed to get the Heatseekers back into the ring. And now the big man Silas gearing up, but referee Garrett Kent and Silas only one in the ring at a time.
Looks like it's going to be Elliott Russell and Kerry Morton right here. Big gut wrench powerbomb there from Russell.
Russell goes for the cover early.
You talked about how the Southern Six are trying to establish themselves, especially here in KFW and the National Wrestling Alliance. The Heatseekers, quite an established team already, former four-time NWA World Tag Team Champions, but be that as it may, it has been a while since they've had those tag team titles around their waist.
It certainly has been, as the Heatseekers looking to prove a point here to the Southern Six, and behind the referee's back, pulling down on the neck of Kerry Morton, trying to choke Morton out on this middle rope.
Now Russell tagging Sigmund back into this match. It was Sigmund who had quite a lot to say at the expense of the Southern Six earlier this evening.
Well, especially in regards to Silas Mason. Of course, Silas Mason, someone whose house burned down just a few short weeks ago, and now the Heatseekers are out here making a mockery out of what was a tragedy. This man lost everything that he owned, and the Heatseekers out here making jokes about it earlier tonight.
There's certain lines you just don't cross, and that's one of them. And I think with knowing that, Sigmund and Russell are going to do everything that they can to keep Silas on the outside, because they know the hell that's coming down their way if he gets in the ring. As you see, the tag gets made there to Russell.
Sunset flip from Kerry Morton, but the tag was already made. In comes the big man, Russell. As Kerry Morton crumples to the ground. We talked about the championship reigns of the Heatseekers, but you cannot discount Southern Six. Of course, we've held singles gold on multiple occasions between the two of the National Wrestling Alliance, as Kerry Morton going for an O'Connor roll. Eats a knee from Sigmund on the outside. Going for a cover.
And you can see Silas, he wants to get in this ring, and he wants to get in there bad, as Russell just jaw-jacking with Silas on the outside.
And it's hard to blame Silas Mason. Again, we've already mentioned the words spoken earlier, all in the direction of Silas Mason. The Heatseekers looking to isolate Kerry Morton from the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion. Tag made, in comes Sigmund. A big elbow right to the cover. It's because of tag team chemistry just like that the Heatseekers are a former four-time NWA Tag Team Champion And spitting in the face of Silas Mason, knowing exactly it would rile the big man up, and now allowing the Heatseekers to double team Kerry Morton.
And while the Southern Six have definitely proven to be quite an impressive tag team in their short run, the Heatseekers have been doing this for a long time. They have been teaming together for quite a while, and they're using that experience to pay dividends right now against Kerry Morton and Silas Mason.
Yeah, Sigmund looking to slow down Kerry Morton here, keep him down on the mat, but Kerry now back on his feet, looking to fight out. Sigmund had it scouted though, and now off the ropes. Picture perfect drop kick from Sigmund, now rolls Kerry Morton over, cover.
You know, something I do want to say about Kerry Morton and his resiliency and everything in this match. You know, we've talked an awful lot about, you know, our young champions in Kenzie Page and Kylie Alexa, in that you can really, in a lot of ways, say they've got a lot more experience than the numbers say because they grew up in wrestling. They grew up in that Henry dynasty. You can say the same exact thing for Kerry Morton, son of Ricky Morton, one half of arguably the greatest tag team in wrestling's history, the Rock and Roll Express.
Like growing up in a wrestling family like that, certainly, I mean, you're entrenched in it from the moment you were born. You're surrounded with nothing but wrestling. It's at that point, it's practically in your system. It's in your blood. It's all Kerry Morton is known. It's Elliott Russell stalking Kerry Morton here as he brings Kerry back up to his feet.
Still so much fight.
Just took the word right out of my mouth, Rob. Really still hanging in there after being thrown into the turnbuckle. I see him favoring the lower back, and Elliott Russell picks up on that immediately.
You know, and I talked very briefly about the Rock and Roll Express. This is a position that we saw Ricky Morton in quite a lot during the career of the Rock and Roll Express. It was Ricky Morton who was getting beat down, who was suffering from the double team onslaught of their opponents. And Kerry Morton, he has seen this so many times with his father, and I'm sure his father has passed down a few tricks over the years.
It's a strategy you certainly have to put into play when in a tag team. You have to put in the person with a larger gas tank, the person with the most heart, the most ability to withstand punishment in at the beginning, because they're often the person who goes the distance in the match.
That is definitely Kerry Morton. We've seen time and time again prove himself, whether in singles or tag team competition, here in KFW, in the National Wrestling Alliance, wherever he goes. And Kerry has got to try to find a way to get over to the big man, Silas Mason, in the corner.
Silas Mason having a hard time controlling his temper on the outside. Sigmund going for a suplex. Kerry Morton pumps the brakes. Kerry connects with one of his own. As the crowd comes alive here in Newport, Tennessee.
Is this the opening that Kerry needs?
Certainly could be, but Kerry Morton a long way away from his corner.
Sigmund able to tag in Elliott Russell, and now here comes Mason.
A quick roll and a tag made to Silas Mason and the big man. How good must this feel for Silas Mason after all that was said earlier tonight, for him to come in and finally get his hands on the Heatseekers?
He's been in the back seething all night long, finally getting to have a little taste of revenge. Gets the boots up to Elliott Russell.
Silas charges in. But Elliott Russell had it scouted. 2 for the Brats, a 1 there. Double clothesline. Wipes out both of the Heatseekers.
Silas Mason looking to have some fun at the expense of the Heatseekers as he once again tags Kerry Morton back in this match. We're going to see a little bit of double team offense here, Carmen.
The Southern Six have such a distinct tag team chemistry. Crossbody from Kerry Morton, broken up by Sigmund. Silas throwing Sigmund to the outside, and now the former NWA National Heavyweight Champion giving chase to Sigmund.
It was Sigmund who had all of those words for Silas Mason earlier in the evening. Silas has got to feel good laying these shots into Sigmund on the outside.
Sigmund gouging the eyes on the outside and sending Silas Mason face first into the post. And right into our camera operator. Meanwhile, in the ring, Kerry Morton sends Russell into the ropes, but Russell gets him up. Going for some tag team offense here. Power slam, and now Sigmund with a diving headbutt.
This has got to be it. This has got to be it for the Heatseekers. No.
That's very close there.
I was 100% sure the Heatseekers were going to leave the victors here tonight, hooking that leg, but Kerry Morton able to fight out of it, even with Silas Mason still on the outside.
Kerry Morton certainly showing that Morton spirit, but as you can see, our referee caught in the crossfire there, no pun intended, as Sigmund now with a steel chair in hand going to attack the sternum of Kerry Morton, and now to Silas Mason. We're going to put away Kerry Morton here. Here they are, the Southern Bad Boys made their way back out, pulling the chair from the ring, and now Kerry Morton has an opportunity. Mason gets him up. Look at the rotations, Rob.
Unbelievably impressive feat of strength from Silas Mason, spinning out Elliott Russell, a man almost the same exact size as him.
Watch out for this, Rob. Southern Six looking to put it away. If they hit it, this is over. Face first goes Sigmund. Leg is hooked from Kerry Morton, and that is it.
Quite a cathartic victory for the Southern Six, especially for Silas Mason, considering all the words shared. Show of respect there from the Southern Six to the Southern Bad Boys.